Okay, so now we are definitely getting onto late game stuff. So structures and entities and biomes, dimensions, I always save those for the last 2 days. If someone starts it earlier, that's great. You know, there's going to be some kids you're going to get who will start this crazy stuff first day and they're going to do great. And others who won't get to any of it the whole time. It doesn't really matter as long as they're having fun and they're making something. If they're making stuff and they're playing with it and they're having a good time, they never have to make a structure. But for those who do make structures, you're going to want to know how. So to make a structure, you don't just go and click structure. Like we could do something here, whatever you want to name it. But you actually have to have this thing right here, which is the structure to spawn. And to be honest, I don't have any structures here. So we're going to have to make one. And so let's just delete this. And to make a structure to spawn, you're going to want to go to Minecraft and create a single player world that is super flat. So to create a super flat world, first make sure you're in creative. I wouldn't name it new world because you're going to have to find this in the files, which will be not always super fun. So let's just call it structures. Just so I know exactly where my structures are saved. And we got to make it so more world options. Generate structures. That doesn't really matter. What is it? World type super flat. Create new world. Okay. Okay, so here we are in our super flat world. If you wanted to get rid of these guys, all the slimes that just spawn, you could turn it on to peaceful. Options, difficulty, peaceful, but I'm not going to do that. Simply because if you want an entity in your structure that is... So something to think about while you're making your structure is that it should always be built directly on the ground. Secondly, if you're ever going to have an underground portion, like I'm going to say that this area right here is going to be underground, just build it right on top of the ground. You don't want to hassle with the rest of with dealing with underground stuff, and then you're going to have to like destroy dirt. So just build everything above ground. It'll make your life easier. I'll show you how to adjust that later so that it actually goes in the ground and spawns. Okay, that may have taken a second too long there, but this is the structure I made. This is not too big. It definitely won't be too big, but they definitely can be. So just make your structure in the super flat world, put it right on the ground like this is. And it is really, really important that that it's not too big. Because if you make it too tall or you make it too long, like I want to say 40 blocks tall or 40 blocks long, that's just a guess from what I've seen. It will spawn it, but it will spawn parts of it. Like it will cut off the bottom or it will cut off the top. And maybe that's less of a problem if it generates less often, but I really do see it all the time where it won't generate the full thing. But I'm really thinking this one of this size should generate just fine. And I bet I could make it twice as tall and it would generate just fine. But here it is. It's a little... Well, I actually didn't even finish it. It is like a little temple sort of thing, and those are my things. If I step on them, I die. Or if you go in, if you break that, you die. And then if you go down, there is some little way to get down, and some chests. Let's put some pressure plates, so if anyone tries to step around, or they fall, if they fall straight down, they decide to go through the middle way, then they die. And this is just kind of for show. And if you click that, you die too. There's a lot of ways to get hurt. Let's get our structure block. So to do that, we're going to have to go / give, I can do all, but I could even just do me, and structure block. Okay, so we got our structure block, and it went into my inventory, so I'm going to use it. And this matters a lot. We need to make it in 2 points. One, a bottom corner, and a top corner. And this is made to completely encapsulate the entire structure. So, if we take our line out and we figure out this is where our walls are, I want to be one outside of that, and one below it. So I don't have any blocks in the ground here, as in like there is no floor, like this is the floor, and that's what we want. And it needs to be just under the floor, just outside of it, and then just above this block. So let's trace it again, and I usually just like to use some random block here. And do one more. Yeah, like putting it on top of that should be good. And none of these will really be included in it, but I just tend to get rid of them. But I guess it doesn't actually matter. Maybe it'd be nice to have them because then you could move around. But now I'm going to go to the bottom one, and we're going to right click on this. And this matters too. The bottom one, we can set the mode down here, and we want this one to be corner. And I'm going to call this structure the mud. Okay, the M key. What the heck? Oh, there's no capitals. Okay, no capitals in the structure names. So mud brick temple. So we'll call it. I'm going to go over to this other one and name it. We're going to go to, this one is going to go to save, and we're going to call it mud, and it has to be the exact same name here. Mud brick temple. And just to make sure that you have it right and it looks good, do detect. And this will create a big cube around it, and we can see, oh, perfectly fills in everything so that there's no extra things, nothing missing. Perfect. And I'm going to right click here. I'm going to click save. Now it's saved as Minecraft Mud Brick Temple. So let's quit. Save and quit. So now that we're back in MCreator, we're going to go and click our plus to add a new thing, and we're going to click structure. So the name of this structure will be Mud Brick Temple. And here we need to find that structure. So I'm going to click plus. We need to find it. Luckily, it's in MCreator workspaces. So if you're looking for MCreator workspaces, it's always going to be in your user. So let's see if I can like make this bigger to see all the users. It's putting me right in Coarv. But I believe if I went to this PC, C drive, users, because sometimes you have to do this. So this is why I want to show you it. So this PC, users, Coarvata, MCreator workspaces specifically. It's not .MCreator, it's MCreator workspaces. MCreator workspaces, tutorial workspace. Now we're going to go into run, then saves, and here we can see which one is it. It is structures. Then we're looking for generated, and Minecraft, then structures, then my mud brick temple is there. So once you've done that a few times, it's a lot faster to go through. My first time I was looking for it for a minute because I didn't know where it was. Yeah, that's where it is. This will change its probability of spawning. I'm going to make it about 50,000. That should be plenty likely to spawn. This will be structure group size. So let's say that you wanted it to generate like multiple of them next to each other. I'm just going to do one. I don't really want there to be a minimum of 0, and I wouldn't want there to be more than 1. So let's do that. It can rotate. Rotation doesn't do too much with my structure specifically. It's pretty much symmetrical, but I may as well allow it. Blocks to ignore when placing. Structure block. I could also do air and structure block, air block, and ground block. Let's let's just do structure block. No, air and structure block so that it can go on the ground. Type of reference ground detection. First motion block. Blocking block. I don't know what that does exactly, but I've always left it like that, and it worked. Oh. So never mind. Let's think about this. If we make the structure a water-based biome, the first motion blocking block will generate the structure below the water, as the water is not considered motion blocking, and other entities can go through it. So let's just go first block, so it just generates on the land. Spawn location, ground. You could also do in the air or underground, but I want to just generate it on the ground. X height and Z offsets. I want to make it offset negative. I have no idea how tall it is. Maybe -8. That sounds about right. It's just going to spawn on the surface. No biome restriction. We're going to save mod element. And now it should generate in our world. So I'm going to load it up again, and specifically I'm going to have to create a new world. So I will show you that. Okay, so now that it's open again, let's create single player. And because I'm changing the world generation in that I want my structure to spawn in the world, I'm going to need to create a new world. So if you ever are doing a biome or a dimension, it's the same thing. And I'm going to name this, just because whenever it's a new world, it can be confusing as you look through your files. So I'm going to call this structure test. And this seems good to me. We're just going to fly around and look for my structure. Hopefully it spawns somewhere. And we can test out if it worked. And I just spawned in my world, and already it spawned right in front of me. So it also looks a little... Oh no. That fake snow stuff. Okay. It looks... Oh no, that looks like it worked. It just got buried in the dirt a bit. But if I walk on this, shows me black, maybe that'll melt some of the snow. And if I go down... Yeah, all these snow blocks went into it. Whoosh. Oh, so that's something to learn. Because I said that it could fill air and structure block, it filled up my entire structure with stone. So what I want to do is to actually go on back, and I'm going to change this so that it is just the structure block. Okay. Well, that is everything I think you should need to know about making a structure.